What's up, YouTube family? It's Be Righteous from Identity again. This week's episode of Righteous Thoughts is one I'm particularly excited about. Brand sets and how they'll change after Gear 2.0 drops. You know, the overhaul where everything in the game regarding gear and loot will completely be revamped. If you've been enjoying my content, then please don't hesitate to drop a like and subscribe if you're new here to stay updated with all my content. And if you didn't know already, I make build videos as well. Here's a link to my latest one. So, this overhaul is unlike any other that we've experienced. It feels like we're going to get a completely new game. Everything will be affected by this one. It's like a domino effect, you know, because so many aspects of gear and stats are being changed that whatever's part of that must be changed as well. Not even specializations are safe. Even a new firewall seems like it's going to be changed, but that's a discussion for another day. Brand sets are a very important part of this transition. We have plenty of them to choose from, but some aren't even going to be viable after Gear 2.0. Here are some examples of a few brand sets I'm referring to. Morikami, which for the 3-piece grants you Firefly skill power. Heilig Art, that offers Pulse skill power. And Circle of Concern, which grants Seeker skill power, all 15%. In this patch, these bonuses make sense. Because of how skill power works now, when reaching a skill power's threshold, you activate certain skills. That extra 15% helps you reach those numbers. But there are a few problems with this system. One is that people rarely use the full 3 pieces of any brand sets. I mean, I've seen people using Heilig Art, but that's about it. And more importantly, the way skill power is gonna work next patch won't even support this method. The devs want to take the way we use brand sets in a whole nother direction completely, one in which sets will work in harmony with certain playstyles. Look at the new Heilig Art, a favorite amongst the Division 2 community now. This set is used to help get those crazy 500 to 600k armor builds, and with the help of those exclusive 25 to 30% armor rolls that few agents were lucky enough to get, allows you to make this build easy. But for Gear 2.0, total armor will be gone as a rollable stat. But as you can see here, the 5% total armor still remains on the new Heilig Art, along with 8% health and 10% armor regeneration per second. So with this set, you'll be able to actually play the role of a real tank, but one that everybody will have the opportunity to attain because the total armor here is more controlled. You'll no longer be able to have a crazy high damage and skill power along with that. The build won't let you, because you're only allotted so many stats to determine what type of playstyle you'll have. That's where your knowledge of creating builds comes in handy. Here's one of my favorites. Overlord armaments. Many of you know I love rifles. They're my weapon of choice and the type that I'm most efficient with, so I'm really looking forward to this. These changes take more of a focused approach to this style of play. 10% rifle damage, 10% headshot damage, which, by the way, will compensate for not being able to have concussion on the mask, and 10% weapon handling. It used to have total armor and damage to elites, 2 of which are being removed completely from the game next patch. So here you'll be able to become either a really balanced rifleman or a glass cannon that's there to just wreak havoc on anyone in sight. Which reminds me, my clanmate Arsenon always tells me how he's gonna just stack all red stats and become a glass cannon wielding an urban MDR. So he's super stoked about these changes, and so are most of the members of my clan. The final brand set change I want to discuss is Morikami Industries. This is a good change because Morikami is rarely used. Only the 8% health it has now, but that's about it. This brand set is doing a complete 180 and going the skill tier route, with its 3-piece bonus being 10% skill duration, 10% repair skill, and 10% skill damage. Now at first glance, when looking at the 2-piece bonus repair skill, it looks a bit confusing. My understanding of that is it grants you a 10% bonus to skills that repair armor, you know, for healing. So this brand set seems to me like a jack of all trades for skill builds. Can you imagine this with the BTSU gloves? Man, I cannot wait. These new brand set bonuses are still a work in progress, and we don't know if these are the final bonuses, but it gives us an idea of the direction the devs are going in with this. A much needed focused approach to specific styles of play that'll eventually invite opportunity for more gear sets to complement the brand sets, opening the door for even more build possibilities. I remember a gear set from the Division 1 called Deadeye that many of you are probably familiar with. That gear set gave you 100% critical hit chance if you were scoped in and in cover with a marksman rifle or a sniper rifle. Could you imagine this with a 2-piece overlord? Or another gear set called the Reclaimer which gave you a resource station similar to the Hive that provided health, immunity to status effects, skill haste, ammo, and automatic revive all in one. But remember, if you killed that particular agent that was using Reclaimer, it's all gone, which made this role that much more important. I'm just saying, these changes are opening up for how the game was originally intended to be played in the first place, and the brand sets are an essential part of this. A lot of people are upset that they're taking away the talents from all the other gear except for the chest piece and backpack, but on the Division 1, the way we originally used to play, they didn't have any brand sets. The only gear they had were the gloves, the mask, the chest piece, the backpacks, and the holsters that I mentioned in my episode 2 of Righteous Thoughts. You know, the named items that gave you a little bonus. Aside from that, it was just high-end gear sets and exotics. So the brand sets that were implemented for part 2 of the Division have all of these bonuses that they give us. So essentially it was kind of an upgrade, and we are actually getting more than what we used to have. We just don't realize it. That's all I have to say about brand sets in this episode of Righteous Thoughts. I'd like to know your perspective on this discussion. Tell me what specific brand set you're looking forward to using and how you want it to be changed. If you found this video helpful in any way, please drop a like and hit that subscribe button. I'd love to have you here. Until then, I'll see you in the next episode of My Thoughts. Be right out.